Okay guys, this is Sydney here. Mom is gone right now, so you are going to get me alone. What we are doing today is we are going to be cooking, I call them Brownie Crinkle cookies, but I've heard a lot of different people, have different terms for them, like fudge crackle, double fudge, a bunch of them. But the reason why I call them Brownie Crinkle cookies is because you know how the top of brownies gets that kind of crust that cracks away at each other? That's what these cookies do. And I am a brownie corner fan. I want the corners, I want them, chewy, not, gooey in the center. I don't care for that because I'm not a chocolate lover. So my brother and mom, they, fight over the middles. They want that just soft, mushy insides, and I prefer these. So this may not be a cookie for you. If you like the edges on brownies, then I would definitely recommend it. So what I've started with, I've just cut up some two chocolate bars actually. Hershey's Special Dark, and this is a 4.25 ounce. So this is their extra large. Their extra large bar. I find it in the candy aisle, not at checkout aisles. So go down there and make sure you don't get almonds because a lot of the Special Dark has almonds with it. So you want to get it without. And it calls for 2 of these, but it's actually a hair extra. So I break a whole row off. So it's 4 squares. So then I just, chopped it all up, and then it's 3 tablespoons of butter, and then we're going to put this in the microwave to melt it, and then we'll bring it down to room temperature. So I will go and get this all melted together and then bring it back to room temperature and come back to you guys for the next steps. Okay, we are back, and our chocolate has melted and cooled. You want to bring it to room temperature. I personally speed it up and stick it in the fridge or the freezer real quick. Just don't forget about it, because I have forgotten about it a couple times, and then you have this big hard glob of what used to be melted chocolate. So our chocolate and our butter is already in there together. Now what you're going to do in a separate smaller bowl is have half a cup of brown sugar, and then you are going to add to that lost my place here, 2 eggs. So you're just going to crack those in there, and you want both the yolk and the egg white, so just put the whole thing in there. And one more. When I was a kid, I used to love cracking the eggs, and now I almost dread it because it's such a disaster and a mess. So I don't know what I was thinking when I was younger. Okay, so what you're going to do with this is just whisk it together, which I was not prepared and did not get a whisk out. Okay, so this is our 2 cups of brown sugar half a cup of brown sugar and 2 eggs. Just whisk it all together, and then once it comes together, you are going to add this to your room temperature melted chocolate and butter. Okay, that looks pretty good. So then we're just going to combine this. Okay, and then you can do this by hand, but it's a lot easier if you have a hand mixer. So if you have one of these that's not stuck, just use it. It doesn't take very long at all. Okay, so that's together. Now what you need to still add is your flour, which is 1/4 of a cup, and your baking soda, which is 1/4 of a teaspoon. So we'll get the flour here. So, I mean, I was very surprised when I first made these that it only called for 1/4 of a cup of flour. I mean, that's not very much at all. And I was just dumbfounded, but this recipe does not make a whole lot of cookies. Well, let me restate that. If you make the cookies as large as I do, they don't make as many, but you can always easily, you know, double the batch if you want to. Okay, and then you're also going to mix this together. Just be careful. I think I got too small a bowl. Next time I need a bigger one. Okay, and that is it. So that is our cookie dough. It is very movable right now. It doesn't like come together like oatmeal cookies or sugar cookies. So we are going to put this in the fridge for about 20 to 30 minutes until it's slightly thickened so that we can use a cookie scooper or an ice cream scooper to put them out. So I will get this chilling and then come back with you guys. Okay, so our chocolate cookie dough is all, you know, it's come together into a nice thick consistency. So we could take it out of the refrigerator. We have our refrigerator halfway cold, so it's going to depend on how cold your refrigerator is, but we had ours in there for about, I'd say 15 minutes, 15 to 20. So this is the cookie scoop I was talking about. You can use a larger one, you can use a smaller one, and then we use a Pampered Chef stone for most of the cookies that we make. You will see this all the time. Pampered Chef is the bomb. And you can tell how much we've used it with all of the seasoning and coloring on it. But I will say, with these particular cookies, make sure you use parchment paper. You will definitely see why when you take them off. The bottom doesn't have like a thick crust base, so you're kind of wanting to get it all up at once. But I can't really explain it. You just kind of have to experience it after the first time you make these. So it almost comes out like a mousse, a chocolate mousse or a chocolate fudge that hasn't quite set up yet. I mean, kind of resembles chocolate ice cream, to be honest, but it's very thick, you know, it's not going to fall off. So if you get the scoopers that have the squeeze attachment that scoop it out, those are awesome. We definitely use this for this purpose all the time. Now they are going to spread out, so make sure they're not too close to each other. But past that, I mean, this is pretty easy. Sometimes I don't get quite as much on one, so I'll put a little extra so their hair more even after they've cooked. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to put them in the oven. It's all going to depend on the timing, or it's going to depend on how big your cookie dough balls are as to how much time it's going to make. But rule of thumb is check them around 8 to 10 minutes. If they're still, you know, way mushy inside, obviously go longer. But I'm going to pop these into the oven and then I will come back with you and show you what they look like at the end. Okay, the cookies are done, so I am so excited. Now, I do want to do a side note here. Mom normally posts in a lot of our articles that I hate chocolate. I do realize there's chocolate in these cookies, but I like these cookies. So I don't know if it's because it's dark and it's not as sweet or creamy and milky. I don't like all that. But I will tell you this is one exception that I do. So here are our cookies. And then, if you want to, I personally don't like powdered sugar, but I know a lot of people do. You could sprinkle a little on here. And it's very pretty too. So this is a very good, pretty dessert if you're having people over, if you have to take, dessert to a party. But I want to show you this. So I'm going to come up here and see if I can get this to focus. So very pretty, chocolatey. See all the crinkles up here. I mean, just very, very, I don't know, brownie. It looks like a brownie to me. Just a really, really flat brownie. So that is all I have for you guys today. If you guys ever have requests of certain recipes or how-tos, tutorials, let us know. Put it in the comments below. Send us an email. We are always open to your requests and what you guys want to see, because you guys are the readers, so we want to give you guys what you are after. So we look forward to hearing from you guys, and we will see you soon.